Hello everybody, this is Guillermo Mariano with nomadprogrammer.com, and in this video I'm going to be showing you, the developer, how to modify an Angular component's behavior within the browser. Now this type of use case scenario is very common in instances where you are trying to just localize the changes that need to be made for a component just to see how that component styles or template changes and how those input properties trigger a change detection. If you don't want to make those changes in the editor, whatever you use, either Visual Studio Code or Sublime or something else, you can do that directly within the browser so that you don't have to trigger a hot reload and wait for that hot reload to take effect. You can just run all of those commands yourself within the browser. Let me show you how to do that. So this is my to-do app. So first thing you need to do is grab a hold of the component that you want to modify, and you do that by going into the Dev Chrome tools and then selecting the element. Make sure that you are selecting the correct element by highlighting it out. So here the selector text here is the app to do item card. This is for the to do card component. And then in my console, if you've done this type of work before, you know that there's a global variable in the browser called #0 that shows you that what was the last selected element and then any of its properties, at least from the DOM perspective. Angular provides an API called ng that provides several methods that allow for you to grab a hold of any component on your view on the DOM and get information about that element's parent host element, the listeners that are running on that component, and so forth. So let me show you how to grab a hold of a component and assign it to a temporary variable. So to do that, I am going to do const to do card, and there you go. I've already called this before. So to do card equals ng get component. So that should give me a hold of the component that is right now being pointed to by the global variable $0. So now if I see what's in my to-do card variable, it is my to-do item card component, right? Cool. So let's say I wanted to find out and test within the browser what would be the effect of changing one of the input properties for that to-do item card component. One of those properties is called read-only to do, and what this property does, it sets the component into read-only mode, and it should eliminate any of the buttons that are displayed inside of that component. Notice that when I hit enter, nothing happened, and the reason for that is because with the ng API, you need to trigger the change detection manually. So to do that, all I have to do is just do ng apply changes, and I've already called this before. Voila! Now this component with its modified input property is showing me the results that would happen if that property was set to 0. Okay, so doing this type of work is very similar to when you're doing UI development and just focusing on the styles. It's very similar to you grabbing a hold of an element in your browser and then fidgeting around with the margins and paddings and colors directly in the browser without touching the CSS file, or in my case, the SAS file, because I use a preprocessor, without touching that file and seeing what the end results are going to be. You get information almost instantaneously. Here with this ng API, you do need to trigger the change detection with, so you have to call two methods. First get the component, then modify the property that you want to modify, and then apply the changes. But it's good if triggering a hot reload forces you to go to the correct route and set up the correct state in order for that component to be validated. It's a much shorter and quicker way. So this is available in Angular 9. The new API is available in Angular 9 and later. And this is only available if you're doing development, in development mode. Once you ship this and you build your app for prod, you don't have this API anymore in the browser, which makes sense, right? Okay, well, that was a short video. I hope this helps you guys. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. And until next time, this has been Guillermo Arellano with anomadprogrammer.com. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.